Okay, good afternoon. How are you, Mr. Shayar?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am Izayubi and I am the Student Engagement Officer at ICE Pakistan and the moderator for today's meeting.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, let us first introduce Mr. Shariar and then we can move on to the main point. Today we're going to be discussing about PG Cert and I'm going to be asking you the most oftenly asked questions about this program. Okay, so something about Mr. Shariar himself is that he is a dynamic academician renowned for his proficiency in teaching and lecturing abroad and with a broad spectrum of subjects. His educational journey is marked by a diverse range of qualifications including a minors in architecture, a master's in business administration. His implementations and management of SOPs within the academic department have significantly enhanced operational efficiency, fostering seamless interactions among students and other pertinent departments. Shariar's expertise extend beyond traditional boundaries, enabling him to excel in managing and coordinating programs with distinct requirement. Okay,
Thank
Mr.
you for
Shariar,
that
I
extended
hope
introduction.
I'm fine with all of this.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Shariat, would you tell us about PG Cert? What does it stand for and what is this program?
So the level 7 certificate in education, um, and, as it's known, level 7 is a postgraduate certificate. So for those who might not be aware of these levels, I think it's important to identify that in British qualification and education, it's numbered in a way that you'll have your high school, which is 12 years of education at level 3. Then you'll have your bachelor's of 3 years, which is level 4, 5, 6. And then you have your postgrad, which is level 7 and above. So this is a qualification, which is a certificate. Furthermore, to elaborate on this, what a certificate and different type of qualifications exist, um, you can have awards, which is less than a certificate. So perhaps a single course or a single lecture taken, you might get an award. Certificates usually last between 6 months to a year at 60 credits. Then you'll have a diploma after, which could be a year long, and a degree, which is 2 years and above. So this is a certificate consisting of about 60 credit hours. To further, if a point also to elaborate here is that a 60 credits are divided in 3 units in this qualification, and as its name suggests, that it's a certificate in education. So teachers, particularly teachers who after completing this qualification can take these same credits, 60 credits, and if they ever want to proceed for something like a master's in education or diploma in education, then they can have these credits transferred as well.
Okay, Mr. Shariar, is that all that you need to tell, or is there something more that you'd like to explain about this?
So the to further elaborate on this qualification, it's if you ask me, say for example, who is it for, then I would say that it's for teachers who are currently in teaching practice, so that they're already teaching, and it's particularly meant for them. It enhances their like teaching skills. It gives them a you can say a milestone upon which then they can proceed for jobs across the globe, because it is a qualification that is regulated by Ofqual, and that is the higher education regulatory body in UK. How, for example, in Pakistan we may have HEC, and that's the regulatory body for higher education. This program is regulated by Ofqual in UK, hence it is accepted throughout the globe, and several students that we have had got the opportunity to travel abroad, get the type of teaching jobs that they were looking out for, and it gave them an edge over many other teachers who may not have had such a qualification. Particularly, a certification or any degree in education is something that is starting to be mandatory, um, uh, especially in the GCC and the UK. GCC following the UK technically. So, like you'll find that such a qualification is now turning out to be something which is mandatory for teachers to obtain. And I see, like in a few years' time, it's probably going to be mandatory throughout the globe.
Okay, Mr. Shariar, who is also the academic manager at ICEI Qualify UK. Sir, we would like to ask you a few more questions if you're comfortable.
Yes, please.
These are the general questions that are asked about this course. So here goes the first one. What is level 7 certificate in education?
So,
Like, is it a proper certificate? Do you get a degree or what?
so as I've said earlier, that it's 60 credit hours. It's a certificate. Usually, a diploma, so for example, would be 120 credits, and a full-on degree of 2 to 4 year program would have 180 credits. Uh, so this program has 3 units, each consisting of 20 credit hours, and it takes roughly 6 to 9 months for students to complete the program. And yeah, so like it's a certificate having 60 credit hours, which, if need be, if students later do end up deciding that they want to have um, a diploma or a degree, then they can take these credits and get them transferred, of course, in those universities that do accept those credits. Because when we transfer credits, that's also, it depends on the universities that's accepting them. So yeah, I hope
Okay,
that answers.
so like, what is it for? What is this certificate for? Why should I go for this?
As I mentioned earlier, that it is starting to become mandatory for a lot of teachers in education. So a person, say, might have a master's in physics, right? But they are not eligible for teaching because they do not have any background in terms of education. So you'll find that such qualifications, such as PGCE or this level 7 certificate in education, level 7 being postgraduate, would, like, those teachers would be required to have such a program so that they're eligible to teach in several countries across the globe. So it is not a teacher's license. Some may get confused between a teacher's license and a certificate. Usually, QTS, which is a teacher's license, is only applicable in the UK, which consists of class observations, and the assessment is entirely different. So, for those who might be wondering if it's a teacher's license, that's entirely different and only applicable in UK. But when we talk about a certificate in education, then this is what it is, and it gives an edge in the job market. It also enhances the skills of the learner in how to approach different theories of education. So, for example, Unit 1 that we have talks about different theories of education. Unit 2 and 3 are more practical in their senses. So, they would, for example, have to demonstrate how whatever that they have learned from Unit 1 and Unit 2 and 3, how are they applying those in their classrooms? So they'll have to submit evidences. Yeah, this is basically the assessment process where they'll have to submit their evidences showing or demonstrating how they have implemented the theories that they have learned in their classroom environment. So, in terms of skills, it's definitely something that teachers can learn a lot from and enhance. How is it that they approach their students? How are their different pedagogical techniques or andragogical techniques that teachers can implement, and get better response from the students that they have in their classroom. So in terms of skill, it's an amazing thing to enhance the teacher's skills, but also it's beneficial practically when it comes to searching for job market, or if you want to further proceed for like a diploma or a degree.
Okay. So what will I learn in this course?
So as I mentioned earlier, like there are three units. Unit one being a little more theoretical, where the students talk about pedagogy being the education of the younger mind, so say level 3 and below, uh, whereas andragogy is teachings of level 4 and above. So obviously, such students have a different way of perceiving education and different way of learning entirely. So there are different techniques that are taught, and previously, the philosophies of education that exist are taught to the learners, and then those are implemented within their classroom environment. So that's where the practical aspect comes into play, where Unit 2 and Unit 3, in Unit 3, like students that we have would study contemporary education styles. So different education styles that have recently been implemented, and take up all those skills and implementing those in their classroom, and understanding how is it that the interaction with their students improve. So yeah, this is what they're going to be, and the assessment in that sense is an assignment. It's not an exam based qualification. So by the end of the unit, they would have to prepare assignments, and three assignments in total, one for each unit. And in unit 2 and 3, they would have uh, to submit their evidences of how is it that they've been implementing those philosophies in their education.
Okay, Mr. Shariar, the next question is the course delivered.
Okay, so the course it's an online-based course. So the once the student is registered with us, we provide them a login credential, where then students log in through Microsoft Teams. That's the platform that we use to give out our lectures. And the lectures are for each unit there are a total of six lectures. Each one is an hour and a half long. So yeah, it's delivered online, and the assignments all are also submitted on the portal. So everything that we have set up is done digitally, and it's an online based program. So they're also going to be submitting those assignments on the portal, receiving their feedbacks on the portal, and whenever having any questions or issues, then even one-on-one sessions are conducted with them, again through the portal. So yeah, that's how the lecture is delivered.
Okay, so these are delivered, and what is the assessment process? Like, how do you give out assessments?
Right. So we have an internal based assessment within which um, there's a screening process. So once the student submits their assignments after having completed six classes, so say unit one, there are six classes, one in each week, and then they submit their assignments. Those assignments go through an internal screening process where we check those assignments and see if they are eligible for proceeding for moderation. That's after the assignment has been verified that yes, the assignment is meeting the criteria. Then the assignment is submitted to the awarding body for external moderation, and upon their approval, the assignment is either marked as passed or fail. So there are not any grades such as like 80%, 70%. It's not out of 100. It's either a pass or a fail criteria. So it's internally assessed first, and then it is externally moderated.
Okay, and what is the grading system? Like, how do you grade these?
So as I mentioned that the grading system is not out of 100%, so to speak. So it's just, and there's no A, B, C, D. There's no such a criteria like that. What exists is either pass or a fail. So if, let's say, a student ends up failing, we provide a feedback to why is it that a student failed their assessment. They're provided a feedback in both cases. If it is internally verified, screened, or if it's externally moderated, and if it ends up failing. Either ways, we provide a feedback to the reasons why the assignment failed. They can, then make those amendments in their assignment, and then they can resubmit it for moderation. But the grading criteria is either pass or fail.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sir Shariar. The next question is that how long is the course for? Can it be extended? Can it be shortened?
All right. So the program is of 6 to 9 months. We say 6 to 9 months because it depends on much of the student's work itself. However, each unit is roughly 3 months long. So as I mentioned earlier, each unit has 6 classes, right? One each week. Uh, each class is roughly 1.5 hours. So 6 classes is 9 hours of classes in total. Okay. So 6 classes, and that's 6 weeks. And then another 6 weeks for submitting the assignment. Because there's often a back and forth between the students and the markers. Because if an assignment is not up to the mark, we send our feedback to the students in that next 6 weeks after the classes have been concluded. In that 6 weeks after, we send a feedback to the students to why is it that it cannot proceed, or if it needs further amendments. If the student can in time send those assignments back amended with the feedback that we had provided them, uh, then we reevaluate the assignment and screen it once again. If it meets the criteria, then we submit it. So that all process for a single unit is 3 months long, and there are 3 units. So it does end up taking 9 months to complete the program.
Okay, so the next question is what are the entry requirements?
What are the entry requirements? Okay, so it's important that the one who is applying for this program needs to be a teacher, and not just a teacher, but in current practice. Um, Most acceptably, like that's preferred from our end, that they are in current practice, because they'll be needing to demonstrate their skills, whatever they have learned, and how they have implemented in their classroom environment. So as you can see, it is entirely focused on teachers. Now, and a minimum of bachelor's degree is also required, because this is a level 7 certificate program. So a bachelor's degree is required. If they have not an entire bachelor's degree, but they have a bachelor's certificate, let's say, or a bachelor's diploma, then we can consider an extended experience in teaching. So say 5 years, we're going to take that into consideration, then they can apply. The bachelor's that they have done, it needs to be in English medium university. So all the qualifications that they have done prior needs to be in the English medium language. Yeah, so most importantly, they need to be teachers in current practice. That's preferred.
Okay, and if somebody has just graduated, right, graduated with an honors in literature or psychology, physics, anything, so is the experience really necessary, or can they still go for the certificate and then maybe gain an experience?
So if somebody has just graduated, right, and they are, say, at the intern level, and they want to apply for the program, they will not be eligible until and unless they are in teaching practice. So let's say there's an intern who is an teacher assistant, so to speak, or they're in an education environment, right? So if they are, so to speak, in such an education environment, then they are eligible. But if they have just graduated and they're not working, or they're not in any sort of education or academic industry, then they will not be eligible.
Okay, sir. And how much does this cost, the whole program? How much, sorry, the whole certificate, how much does this cost?
So the program is of £1,200. That's the if depends also on learners who come as early birds. Like say before a commencement of the cohort. If they're like a month earlier, then there's often that there are discounts provided on, so to speak, like early bird discounts. So that's available. But £1,200 is the actual price. Yeah.
Okay, and what if somebody still has questions regarding to this, because this is an online system? So will the lectures be delivered live, like face to face? Will they be recorded? And how
That's
do
a
they
good
ask
question.
questions?
So that's a good question. So yeah, like we have a lot of our learners who are working. So at times they're unable to attend any of those lectures or some of those lectures. So definitely all lectures that we have are recorded, and also so yeah, the recordings are available on the portal that the access we give to the students. And if whenever they have questions, they're unsure, we provide all the relevant contacts where they can communicate. We have the academics department, we have the support department primarily for students when they have any issues, regarding technical issues like login issues, or they're having troubles with compiling their assignment. So they're academics, when you go through online platforms, there are all sorts of queries that can come your way, and all sorts of issues that seem technical in their nature. So sometimes IT related. So once the student is enrolled with us, we provide them the relevant emails and individuals who they can contact. And we do roughly take 24 hours to respond to any particular query. The support department does take 24 hours. That's the time frame given to us. Yeah, that relevant contact is provided to them if they have any questions or issues regarding technical difficulties.
Okay, so Sharia, somebody's submitting their assignment. Will there be someone guiding them throughout the process, or is it just the lectures that are there to help you and that's it? Will there be someone to help
So,
you during creating the assignment?
Yeah, so through the 6-week sessions that the teachers have with the students, we also provide a research and study skills / assignment making classes. So within that, in those classes, we guide students how is it that they can go about making their assignment. Many of the students face issues with, for example, referencing. Most academicians are aware of how is it that they go about referencing, but there's so many different styles. There's APA, Harvard, MLA. So what we follow is Harvard referencing style, and we guide the students throughout the way when they have difficulties with their assignments. However, after the 6-week sessions have concluded and the research and study skills sessions have concluded, that's done. After that, if they do end up facing difficulties in their assignment and they're unsure of something, they can leave out emails to which they'll be responded to. they can also request a one-on-one session with any query that they have or difficulties in their assignments that they have. So yeah, I mean, we do not have any guidance after the classes have concluded. However, if the student feels a difficulty, they can contact us and we will assist them on a one-on-one session.
Okay, Sir Shariar, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for guiding everyone on how the certificate works and how it can help them. We're really grateful to you.
Glad to give the information and to be of assistance.
Thank you, sir. Allah Hafiz.
Take care. Allah Hafiz.